Guys, I apologize. I know I usually come on here full of energy and rah-rah, but I just can't this video. And I don't know too many people that could, but news just broke via Mississippi State officials that their head football coach, Mike Leach, died last night, 61 years old. Leach had been in a Jackson hospital since Sunday morning where he had a massive heart attack at his home. From the moment we first found out what the health situation was, word had started to come to me, and even in public knowledge, that it wasn't good, that the prognosis was very grim. Yesterday afternoon, they moved him to hospice care, had him on life support, and allowed his, family to get there to say their goodbyes. And last night he passed away. This is absolute horrible news, tragedy of the highest form. Leach is in his third year, had just finished up his third year at Mississippi State, was getting ready to go coach a team in a bowl game. His final ever game was a win over Mississippi, their arch rival, in the Egg Bowl. So certainly Leach went out on a high note, but I can't help but think he had so much left to offer at 61 years old, man. That's still got years ahead of him, and listen, I'm a Texas Longhorns fan, and I can tell you, Mike Leach was a guy that used to be a major thorn in the side of Texas every time they played, and I mean that in a nice way. I mean, this guy put Texas Tech teams out there that really had no business competing, and they were competing against the best teams in the country and beating the best teams in the country. And that was the story of his career at Texas Tech, at Washington State, now at Mississippi State. He went in there and just took teams that were, in some cases, in their own degree, underdogs, and overachieved in a big-time way with them. And I'm talking massively overachieved. We're top 15. He's putting his fingerprints on Mississippi State football. They had started to reach that level, but there was still quite a bit left that we could see of what Leach was going to do there. Unfortunately, obviously, now we're not going to get to, which is the least of the story here. Truly, though, one of the most innovative coaches of this generation. I mean, you look at the college football landscape, you look at the National Football League, there are several coaches who have jobs now. And I'm not just talking coordinators, I'm talking head coaches because of Mike Leach. Because everybody wanted to install that air raid offense or something similar to that. These high-octane, high-scoring offenses. Leach was a big reason behind that. Leach was, I don't know if you can call him or Hal Mumme the godfather of it, but certainly you could call them the parents of it. Mumme started it at Kentucky. Leach perfected it at Texas Tech and beyond. And he would take literally any quarterback, and you could name a laundry list of them, from Kingsbury, B.J. Simmons. I mean, keep going down the list. And it didn't matter who the quarterback was. They would put up 5,000-yard seasons. It was an automatic. It was just a given that they were going to put up absurd numbers, video game-like numbers. That was Mike Leach football. And his teams were going to compete against the best of the best because you could not stop that offense. But this, as I said, guys, it's just an awful, awful news day. It's a horrible story. And it's a lesson that I opened my eyes to in media. And I think we all need to. We often will magnify or vilify coaches based off of their success or lack thereof, whether it be in the college ranks, on the field, or in the recruiting trail. But sometimes we stop to think that these are human beings too. These are somebody's father, somebody's husband, and women's, for the women that coach, it's somebody's wife, somebody's sister, somebody's mother. These are people that impact a lot of lives. And Yeah, I know sometimes they don't necessarily perform up to our standards. Our coaching doesn't necessarily match the sniff test at times. But it's just, it's a sad day. It is a sad day, and that's the only way I can word it. I'm usually more articulate than this, but this is a sad moment. This is a heartbreaking moment. I mean, this has happened quite a few times. I've seen this is not the first time that we've seen a coach pass while coaching. Dave McClain of Wisconsin, Joe Morrison of South Carolina, was he fellow college basketball, Billy Joe Eagles. Had just got fired by Auburn, had taken over at New Orleans. Skip Prosser, great coach, stricken in his office after going for a jog, I believe it was, at Wake Forest. Randy Walker, Northwestern, Terry Hoffner of Indiana. I mean, last year we had Anthony Stewart and Lou Hill in college basketball. Let this be a lesson that these are human beings too. As I said, they're human beings that have a knack for coaching, and they're paid for it. A position we all wish we could have. But my heart goes out to the Leach family. My heart goes out to the Mississippi State community, and that football program has just had a horrible month. This tops it off. They lost a player less than a month ago. They lose their coach now. I have no dog in this race, SEC-wise, no pun intended, but I really, truly hope they win their bowl game, and I hope next year they make a run at a natty in Sam's honor and in Coach Leach's honor. And I close things out by saying rest in peace, Coach Leach. There truly will be never be another. Certainly changed the landscape of college football forever. Certainly changed the landscape of football forever. And when it comes to personalities, you were, in every sense of the word, one of a kind. God bless.